Fast drafting my work in progress day 4. So it is currently just before 9 a.m. I've gotten my appointment for the day out of the way. I'm doing my video and then I plan to spend the rest of the day writing. Yesterday, let's see, JT and I did our regular podcast. Then we went to Reno for an author event. So we were out of the house for most of the afternoon and we took an evening walk for about an hour. As a result, I only got about 450 words done. So I need to step up my game a little bit because I was just figuring out that if I want to get this in at around 50,000 words, I have about 12 days to go. That breaks down to about 3,500 days. 3,500 days. Yeah, I'd only have to do maybe a couple words a day. 3,500 words per day would be would get me on track to around 50,000. Now, one of the other things that threw me off track yesterday was I was working and then I tried to look something up to pad out some information, and that sent me down a rabbit hole. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just work with what I've got and try to get as many words down as possible because I can always add those little details later. Right now, the emphasis should be getting the story down, and I can add more seasoning once I'm done with the story. Oh, it is definitely an interesting process. Fast drafting so far has changed my mindset about writing a little bit. And as I mentioned in yesterday's video, I am more eager to sit down at my keyboard every day since I have everything all laid out. And it is very encouraging, I think, that I am so motivated. So I am going to be settling down for a nice long day of writing. Let's see, I have a couple minor chores to do around the house today, so nothing really too much to take me away from that. JT has gone for his morning session of comma coffee writing, and we're just going to see how today goes. Tomorrow we are recording another podcast. We might have something happening on Wednesday. I don't remember for sure. We're doing another podcast on Thursday. So hopefully I can get more than 3,500 words down today to make up for any time I miss over the next 3 days. But I'm hoping, so let's see, by the end of the week, by the end of this week, I should be between 25 and 30,000 words, I think, if I'm on track to get this fast draft done by April 3rd, because today is March 23rd. I'm losing track of the days. Monday, March 23rd, 2026. And it is going to be, like I said, a full day of writing. I am shooting for 3,500 words or more. I'm going to prevent myself from going down that rabbit hole that I started yesterday. Once I get this draft done, I'm going to go back to the rabbit hole because I think it would be fun to have another resource I can add into the book. Maybe a small map showing some of the businesses that were in the area. I found an 1862 Ormsby County directory that talked about who lived in town, and it's not a guarantee that everybody was still here in 1863, but I can actually pinpoint the locations of where these people were at the time, and that would be, I think, a fun resource to include in this book. So that may also happen, and then just I'm going to do all of the extra material after this draft is done. I just yesterday I thought it would be nice to add these few extra details because the characters are walking around Carson City and I kind of wanted to get an idea of what they would have been seeing. But I think, especially since my main character is somewhat traumatized, maybe she's not taking in all the details, and that could go along well with the story that, at least initially, she's not really paying much attention to the world around her. because, like I said, she is a bit traumatized and she's withdrawn into herself. She's trying to function, but she's a little bit on autopilot. And there is so much going on in the world, as we are familiar with in the modern times, that I think it would be completely in character for her to, at least in the beginning, not really pay attention too much to her surroundings. That, like I said, she's on autopilot. She's just going about her day, trying to get through it as best she can without thinking too much. So I think, based on how the story is going so far, I don't need those details. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and get the story down. I am throwing in the historical information that I put into my outline, and I still have my timeline. So she can get little bits and pieces of information as she goes, and then I can maybe later in the book, we'll see how her character develops if she's working her way out of the trauma. And that might be a good time to start throwing in some of those extra details, like, I can't believe I'd ever saw this before, or something. And maybe she will have an awakening as the story progresses. We'll see how it goes. But again, I have a lot of words to get down today. I have a good idea of where the story is going. I am second guessing myself a lot because that's what I do when I'm writing. But I'm not allowing myself to go back and fix things as I go, because that's going to be counterproductive to the process that I'm trying to accomplish. So, just for full transparency, I'm fast drafting. I'm trying not to edit and revise as I go, which is a challenge, but I'm going to stick to that, and I'm going to just pick up where I left off yesterday and go and try to get those 3,500 words. As I've mentioned in my previous videos, I'll be doing 20-minute writing sprints with 10-minute breaks. I think that's working out well. That way I can get up and stretch. I walk around the house a little bit. I'll have a drink, maybe grab a snack if I need to, and then sit down and get back to it. And those 20 minutes go really quick, really, really, really. Honestly, I know that I've noticed in some of my previous videos, I do tend to repeat some words a lot, and I'm trying to do better about that because I do that in my writing as well. So I'm trying to be more thoughtful when I speak and hope that that will filter into my writing so that when I'm going back to do the edits, I'm not finding hundreds of occasions of the word so or now, which I tend to say a lot when I'm speaking. And I know we all have those words that we rely on. They're kind of crutch words. So I'm hoping there, I did it again. I'm hoping that I don't put quite as many of those into my writing, because then when I go back to revise, I obviously have to take those out and basically smooth things over. So I am trying to learn as I go, because this is a process, it's a learning process. Every book is different. And this book is quite a bit different from the ones I've written before. So I'm having a lot of fun, and I hope you will, if you've stumbled across this, I hope you will follow along. This morning may be a little disjointed because I'm kind of already thinking about what I'm going to be putting on the page. So I probably should end this video and get down to work. I thank you for taking a few moments to hang out with me. I know this is another short video. Like I said, I just wanted to update. I'm currently sitting about 8,100 words. I'm hoping that by the time I do tomorrow's update, I will be over 10,000, preferably more. If I can get closer to, well, let's see, what's reasonable? Maybe 12,000, which is actually where I started on Friday. I was at 12,094. So I backslid a little bit, but that was necessary to get myself back on track because, as I also mentioned, I have changed this from a historical romance to a young adult historical. And I've also changed it so I don't have the 2 points of view anymore. It is one point of view character and how she's dealing with everything that's happening. So, with all that information, again, thank you for joining me. If you are new here, I hope you follow along with this process, especially if you're curious about how someone can write a book in 2 weeks. I'm not even sure I can accomplish it. We'll see. I'm Cassidy Carson, and this is the life of a writer. Take care.